and welcome to this particular video. So we have everything from the storage unit in the house now. There is one object that's still in the storage unit that I want to keep, but I need a screwdriver to unscrew it. It's gonna be my camper. It's gonna go on my bicycle that I'm going to build this year. It's just basically 4 pieces of 1.5 by 1.5 made into a rectangle. Anyway, that and a little bit of trash, and then we're done, and we should be able to complete that today. Anyway, I made this last night, and this is just a 3-weave piece of cordage made out of leather strips. Now, this is going to have a lot of uses. I can put it on my head like this and carry loads behind me, you know, have this tie onto grasses or a bag or whatever, and use my head and neck to carry it around. I can use it as a belt. Sit here and lift it up a little bit so you can see. Sit here and just tie something together like this as my jacket or whatever. I can use it as a strap. You know, I can temporarily tie it together here and use it as a strap for something. I can use it for cordage to tie up. Basically, I can use this for anything that I want to use it for. It's not super long, and I made it this way on purpose. I can use it. There's my sleeping bag right there. I can make 2 of these and put them on either side of a roll, a bed roll of some sort. Just lashings and ties and securing line of all sorts. And I can make it really long and use it as a ridge line. I mean, there's just countless things that I could use this for. And I like this look better than, let's say, cordage you buy from the Dollar Tree or whatever. And you know, I've got tons of it laying around. It's just in these boxes. So, or I would show you the comparison of it. But anyway, I just like this, the way it looks. It came from this bag right here. And this is just a bag of leather thongs that I've had for a long time, and basically 9 of these, this length here, 9 of them weaved together in a 3-weave. So again, I can do a video on me making one of these if you want to see it. More than happy to do that. But I do have a few videos on my channel somewhere in there about this 3-weave that I do. And I do it all the same way each time, whether I'm using grass, whether I'm using cordage, whether it doesn't matter what I'm using. I basically do the same weave with everything, because when I find something that works, I just stick with it. There's no reason to change it if it works. So you can see, like, for example, right here, it looks blackened, and that's where the cordage was weaved. A new piece of cordage was weaved in to this, and I super glued it down and cut it down, and then super glued it so that it would bind well with it wouldn't just be sticking out. Now when you do grasses and stuff like that, you're always going to get like these little protruding, they just poke out here and poke out there, and it just that's just the way it is. But I didn't want to leave it that way with this, so I went ahead and cut it down and then dabbed a little bit of super glue onto it. Now if I was to be doing this completely out in the woods with no access to any of that, I could have used a pine sap glue of some sort, which I make all the time. I have smatterings of pine sap in little baggies all over the place in here. One thing I need to do is start organizing this stuff and gathering things together that need to be gathered together and creating kits out of them. So hopefully I'll get motivated to do that soon, and I'll do some videos, and then I can gather up all the pine sap that I have, and mixed with a little bit of charcoal, I can and some deer dung or any other creature that feeds on vegetation, mix that all together and make myself some more pine pitch, which I've kind of ran out of because I was making knives and things like that out of rocks and sticks, and it kind of took most of my pine pitch. If you want to hold on a second, I'll just step behind the camera here real quick on my altar, and I have a knife that I made, and I'll show it to you. So we'll just kind of squeeze back over here. Here we go. Right here, this is a handmade knife that I made out of a stick, some pokeberry stain, some cordage, and then I added some feathers. This are blue jay feathers. And here's the pine pitch. This black, this is pine pitch that I made. And then this slate rock that I had, I formed into a knife. It doesn't have a super sharp edge, but I formed it enough to where it could be used for cutting vegetation and stuff like that, and I could sharpen it down enough to actually skin an animal or something with it. So, but yeah, I made this several years ago. So a handful of years ago, during Christmas, we didn't have any money at all, and we were making everybody's gifts, and we were only giving to close family members. And I made, I don't know, 4 or 5 of those knives, and I gave them out as gifts to family members. So I did gift one to a YouTube fan, but he's the only person that has one of those that's not a very, very close family member, being basically kids. Both of my younger sons wanted one, so I made them one. I made, like I said, 4 or 5 of them and gave them out as gifts to family members who showed interest in wanting them. And then that one YouTube fan who's extremely generous to me and very loyal in view of my channel and stuff. So, great guy. So not that this is a plug, but thank you, Mr. Schmecker, for being such a great guy. And cool. So anyway, back to the cordage. I ramble like this, so if you're new to my channel, I'll jump topics and just repeat myself constantly and just ramble like I'm doing now. So, you know, anyway. But this cordage here, I love it. I'm going to use it for many things. So I just wanted to show it to you. And again, like I said, I've got a few videos on making cordage out of vegetation, grasses and plants and stuff. And it's done exactly the same way with leathers or anything else. I have a way of doing certain things that work for me, and I have no reason to alter it, so I don't. Now behind me I have, well, in front of me behind the camera, I have my leather working kit that I'm getting set up, and I think I'm going to do a video on that here soon. I have a sewing kit that I'm going to do a video on. I've got a trapping kit kind of set up a little bit. I have a lot of kits set up, or at least they used to be set up. They're not really set up anymore. It's just kind of a mess, but I want to get them set up. And I have had interest in people requesting that I do some videos on these kits that I use and take out in the woods with me. So hopefully that can get done here really soon. So again, thank you guys for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and enjoy the outdoors. even if it's your own backyard.